All right, this time I'd like to call the Common Council of the City of Plattsburgh, New York, City Operations Committee meeting to order June 13th, 2022 at 5 p.m. All members except for Councilor Bob are in attendance. Councilor Bob has been excused. First item is the approval of the minutes of the May 9th, 2022 City Operations Committee. Take a motion. Motion by Councilor Gibbs, second by Councilor Moore. Any alterations, changes, or deletions? Seeing none, raise your hand to indicate indicate approval. All in favor? Yes. None opposed. Motion carries. Item 2, City Clerk Community Events. The 2.1 discussion City Clerk monthly report, which was added, provided to the council. There are any questions for this item? Pretty straightforward report to provide the council every month, outlining the number of licenses and items that are provided through the clerk's office. Any questions about that? No. Item 2.2, draft resolution approval of 2022 beer gardens for the City of Plattsburgh events. Motion, Councilor Gibbs, second. Councilor Moore. Any discussion on this? Any questions? No. Seeing none, approval to move this to the regular meeting. Raise your hand. Yep. Absolutely. Approved. Item 2.3, draft resolution approval for the City of Plattsburgh to enter into a contractual agreement with Jamie Durvage for 4th of July celebrations. Motion. Councilor Gibbs, second by Councilor Moore. Any discussion?
I just had one question though.
Yeah.
Are all events going to be on the 4th, or is it going to be any other days?
None by the city. None will be hosted by the City of Plattsburgh. I believe that there are going to be a number of events that happen between the 4th and the Mayor's Cup. We're having a press conference to outline some of those public events. But right now, the 4th of July is really going to be City of Plattsburgh's pinnacle event in that week. It's going to end the week with the Mayor's Cup, as it traditionally goes. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Well, let's see, draft resolution approval of City of Plattsburgh to enter into contractual agreement with music performance for Lake City Arts Festival. Motion. Councilor Gibbs, second. Councilor Moore. Any discussion on this? All in favor? Motion carries. 3.1, discussion on IT managed print services contract with Simquest. As we progress through the half of the year, I believe that Richard has provided a fairly comprehensive report to my office. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to provide it to you all yet, but I will this week. It outlines the IT expenses incurred, both the fixed costs as well as the project-based costs. Right now, we're about 100% of what was budgeted for IT services this year. Looking back at the budget process, as Councilor Moore requested that any budget savings realized in that council budget process, that money be added to contingency to help offset IT costs. We'll do some numbers on that. I received the email from Richard to outline how much that was. That will help offset some of the IT overages. I've also requested a comprehensive report from Simquest on both the fixed costs as well as ongoing maintenance or ongoing fees for IT services. One of the questions that we had early on in that process is, what are we going to do with the ongoing end user support that we go through essentially two different providers. Right now, end user support is included. There are some hours included in the Simquest contract. It's a matter of analyzing what the benefit to consolidating that service into one contract versus other than the price. So I've asked for a service level agreement to ensure that any user support is done in a timely manner. And then once that proposal comes back, to make that comparative analysis on what would be the benefit to the city to collapse all of our managed IT services into one provider. That should be a pretty quick turnaround conversation for the city. Certainly the goal is to not only maintain the level of IT and user service as we get now, but also have some savings, potential savings around transition. The managed print service, it's a bit of a mishmash of contracts, leases, licenses, maintenance contracts that we currently have in the city of Plattsburgh. When I was on the legislature, one thing that we did was we tried to consolidate all of our managed print service contract into one consolidated contract shared across the county, which not only helped with the leasing aspect, but also the cost savings for maintenance, as well as ongoing adding and subtracting of machines. We've been in this conversation, Beth, maybe a year or so, trying to consolidate all of these things. And for one reason or another, it's been delayed. So I think we're right at that, right at the point where we can bring a proposal back to council, which consolidates all of the leasing of machines, all of the maintenance contracts on machines, and then provide a cohesive package for all city departments, which will eventually either save money over the long term or just certainly the initial phase is to not spend any more money than what we already spent. So we'll have that package proposal back to council here shortly. And that's all I have on this agenda. Any new business or any public comment at this point? Any new business for the city operations? I'll take a motion to adjourn. Councilor Gibbs, second. Councilor Moore. Now adjourn. Yeah, we have a few minutes to our next one.
Do you think we could get the budget that was sent to us in the drive? 5-year plan?
Yes.
Is it a single page?